Hi everyone, this is Cherry Enchantress with Pixie Dust Tarot, and this is your daily dust for Saturday the 14th. There's a movie about that too, the day after Friday 13th. I don't know, did you guys ever watch that? It's been a while, I may look it up. Anyway, so let's use the Star Child Tarot. If you're watching in real time, that all applies. If not, it's okay because this can be also for whenever you stumble upon it. A lot of times the readings will be like boom, 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 consecutive, like energy, one flows into the next. And sometimes it's an energy that lasts more than just one day. And sometimes, I love the Star Child Tarot, it's Akashic. Ooh, we have the Tower at the bottom. Sometimes it's like a lot of specific energy for just one particular day. So you can take it a lot of ways. Sometimes it's super mundane, like just talking about little things like, chores and getting your hair cut and things like that. Sometimes it's big epiphanies and massive transformations in your life. So just saying, we get a lot of different messages. Alright, let me take off the top. We have the Eight of Swords, the Hierophant, and the Three of Crystals. So it's nice, a nice progression. Generally, whenever, like, when you do a past, present, and future reading, usually the past is always to the left and the future is to the right. And in most readings, to me, the energies leaving or dissipating are usually on this side and growing into something. So let's zoom on in. I feel like we've got a little bit of feeling stuck, needing to get out of a rut maybe, but the Hierophant's great. Knowledge, teaching, connecting with a person, and the Three of Crystals is creating. Let's move on in. As I was straightening the cards, I heard the message, especially with the Hierophant. The teacher is the student, the master is now the student is the master. Oh, when you give, you receive. Those are two messages that I heard. It's in giving that we receive. And so there is a student-teacher energy here, whether you're one or the other or both. So you could be dealing with somebody wiser than you that's helping you, or you could be helping somebody that needs some help, or this is just how it is, or what happens to me sometimes, like for example, this will be a good example for today. If you're in school and let's say you're in Algebra 101, my college algebra, and I did pretty well in college algebra, but I had a friend who was not so good at it, and we would study together, do homework, and I do my homework, but she was always like on the day before me. And so it was interesting, by helping her, I refreshed and reviewed the day before, including the work I had today. It seemed like maybe a lot of work to do, but at the same time, I knew instinctively that helping her helped me too. And I didn't do it just for that reason, but it's a side benefit. It's like a side benefit when you help somebody else with somebody. You're refreshing and reviewing what you need to know for like a test or whatever. So it is in helping that you receive. It is in giving that you receive. It's when you become a teacher that you, as like, if you're a teacher as a student, let's say for instance, if you're both in the same, if you're a student but you do tutorials for others, that's a wonderful combination. I think there's a lot of people out there that could be in that kind of situation where you're still a student in many regards, but you can help people with what you do know, right? You give tutorials, or and it can be in any area at all. And also I think it's interesting in like an office situation or something. Somebody asks you a question and you don't know it and you have to look it up. I mean, they could look it up too, but there's a certain process that you go through that maybe they won't go through, that can stumble upon some interesting facts that maybe they didn't stumble upon. And then together, two heads are better than one, you come up with a bigger, fuller picture of whatever it is you were looking into, right? So I think there's strength in numbers. Like all these like little cliches, but all of them are so true. So if you find yourself kind of stuck, I think this, you know what this is? This is like Googling. This is kind of a little bit, this is like, you don't know the answer, then you Google it, and then you're like, aha. I mean, it can be as mundane as that on a mundane day and just any old day of the week. For some of you watching, it is Friday the 13th. Some of you watch on the day that I put these out. I usually film them a day ahead of time just to give you a little boost. But so I think that's what's going on here. There's like a teacher-student energy, learning and sharing what you know. So that's another side thing. It's like even if you're not an expert on something, you could say, hey, I'm not a lawyer, or I'm not an expert, or I'm not a this, I'm not a that, but I'll tell you what I do know, or I'll share what I know, and you let me know if I'm off at all, or if there's anything I need to research to get to a higher awareness. I feel like the Three of Crystals kind of gives like this higher awareness energy. It looks very cosmic, right? Also, Three of Crystals represents creation, cooperation, two people or more coming together, coming up with a third thing. So definitely, this feels like two or more people energy here. Even though we have like single people, it feels like the Hierophant always represents the teacher and the student to me. And it also represents rules and structures and guidance. And it could be feeling like stuck, like what do I need to do? And the Hierophant comes through like make a list or follow a procedure. Sometimes just taking that first step on a recipe, like you're like, oh, I gotta make, like say you've been commissioned to make, I don't know, so like enchiladas or something for your office, Spanish day party or something like that, something wild like that, and you've never made that before, and you're like, I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna take it on, and you're just sitting there like, oh dang, what did I just do to myself? Well, first of all, you Google up a simple recipe, you get your ingredients, you take it the process step by step. You don't look at it like a big mountain of things to do, but just step at a time. Sometimes things feel so massive and I know like this is the time period where you want to cross your T's and dot your I's and make sure you do everything precisely. So that's important too, like doing things very slow, methodically, precisely, reviewing it, making sure. And then that could be another reason why some people might be stuck. They're like, I did all of this, da 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 da, but what am I missing? Why won't it go through? Why won't it pass into this next phase? And it's something very minor, but I think you'll stumble upon the answer today of this minor thing to help resolve the situation, because the Three of Crystals is moving on to creation and making whatever it is you're making. So your enchiladas are going to turn out fabulous. You're going to be the talk of the town. Anyway, but that's like just an example, but it could apply to lots of things that you guys are involved in out there, and I hope you enjoyed that. Faith, Trust, and Pixie Dust.